Everyone, hear me, for I have found our path to glory and victory. Listen close and listen well, because we are warriors of the now. We are the claimers of our own destiny. You have all been assembled here as Paltrek citizens, armed and ready for glorious combat with the monsters of the East. However, you're more than that. You, me, and everyone here, we are all human beings. Our heart is beating, our soul pounding. Every one of us is special because we were born with 2 legs and 2 arms. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. I think I heard some kind of applause, a cheer, at least closer up to the front. Woo! He kept going, and everyone kept kind of watching, but the people back here were more sort of interested and maybe focusing on eating or enjoying the time they had. I kept getting looks, and it kind of made me uncomfortable. I didn't really know what to do. I did want to be out of here, though, because I could hear it, his speech was going to talk more about us, and I didn't really want to be in view of everyone here when he started talking about our little crawling, sneaking tactics and the way we run around and stab people and how we can eat human flesh and bone, and it's just a bit too much. I crawled my way out, pulling myself away for a moment from the general display. And as I did, I eventually did notice someone else who had sort of pulled themselves away. It was an interesting guy, I guess I could say. He looked just like everyone. There wasn't anything special there. But you could see it on the way his clothes looked. He looked dirt poor. He couldn't barely afford any sort of armor or anything as he sat there just clutching his face in his hands for a moment. As he stopped, turned, looked over the way. I made way to start heading off, but he did actually stop me, which is what kind of surprised me, because I was expecting him to maybe harass me or try to maybe get me to get inside of the cannon again. Everyone really likes throwing me inside of the cannon for some reason. But no. Instead, he pulled out something from his cloak and spoke to me. Hello there. Wait, you're a Goloin, right? Yeah, you know. I've been being trained, though, so you don't have to worry. I'm not going to steal anything from you. Of course not. Steal anything? No, I was hoping you could read this for me. Read this? What? Yeah. Oh. Being asked to read something's a first. I stopped, grabbed it, and took a look. Oh, is this a contract of some kind? Yeah. I looked a little deeper and noticed that this was indeed the contract he had been given for his duty as a soldier in this expedition. I kind of looked across and hadn't really been able to see any of these before. He continued, though. If you can, did I sign a bad contract? Is that bad? Am I getting paid poorly? I didn't really get much chance. It was explained to me by someone who was coming by my town, but I don't really know. I looked across and I couldn't really see anything. It seemed like he had been getting a lot of money for this one, so I just sort of handed it back. Yeah, no, it seems pretty good. I think he'll be fine. Yeah, so glad I could help. I started pulling some of the food off of the top of this stand, taking anything I could try to square away. I feel like if we were going marching sometime soon, I wouldn't have much food much longer, at least good kinds. So I tried to square away what I could before everything had been gone, but everyone else seemed to have a similar idea, and most of the good pickings had already disappeared. As I started to kind of go around again, however, I noticed something strange, and a little intimidating. More strange than the man to the side, and more strange than... maybe less strange in my current circumstances. There is a woman, and she seemed to be staring directly at me. As she leaned, placing her hand languidly on her cheek, she sort of just watched me from the distance. There was something different about her I couldn't quite put my finger on. Maybe it was the gear, which seemed to be more ramshackle. I think her clothes as well. She dressed differently than everyone else here. But Also, it was the expression, the face. She kind of lacked the severity that everyone else had seemed to show while I was here so far. Lacked the ruggedness of a soldier per se, but had the intensive glare of one. She popped up, shortly starting to move across as I sort of put my hands up and like, hi, I wasn't stealing. I was just trying to take some of the stuff in the surroundings, you know? It was, just trying to... She moved past, grabbed some stuff from the table herself, slipped it inside of one of her outer kind of robes, and then sort of leaned down to me.
That's a very good idea, Bloobie.
Oh, huh? She looked up at me again.
Preloading? Haven't got to do much of that myself yet, so I was hoping to maybe get some before everything was gone. Hey, tell me now.
Yeah?
I've been hearing a lot about you. You're a Bloobie, yes?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Bloobie. That's what I'm called.
Yes, Bloobie. Right. You and the, new farmer never fought before, yeah?
I've fought before in a play fight. One back home. Nothing too much, but I felt like putting on a strong face was important for right now. On the other hand, the farmer sort of peeked up. Oh, never before in my life. I was just hoping that I could maybe get some money.
Oh, mercenary work as a money man, huh? All right. Hey, you.
She stopped, turned at me again. Yeah?
You and I, and him. I have a good feeling about you two. Why don't you come to join me? I have a great idea.
Great idea?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take you all out. We're gonna get some extra supplies that they don't give you out here. And then together, we're gonna go out, and I'm gonna teach you both how to fight a little bit.
Huh? I sort of looked at her, gazing at the way she started to sort of shift her oppression out a bit. As, meanwhile, Hans seemed to sort of almost eagerly jump on the opportunity. Oh, yes, absolutely. I would love an opportunity like that. Thank you. You're a mercenary from Saxpati, right?
Yes, I'm a mercenary from Saxpati. But you are a local, and you are from the place we're going, correct? They say you're the one they gathered from the cave.
Yeah?
Well, I'm a big fighter, fought in the War of the Stake. So if all three of us come together and we try to work together, we could probably find a good deal, you know?
A good deal?
Yeah. See, let me look at that.
She grabbed the contract, laid it down on the ground for a moment as she started to run down and look across it.
They're paying you crap, Hanse.
Oh, they are? They are?
Oh, yeah, this is nothing. You're getting paid a levy fee. Barely anything to keep you alive. But I think I can help you out. You see, when we go on outs and you show me the way, we might be able to split off a bit and find our way going about the town and maybe trying to see if we can get a little extra supplies, some stuff that actually helps. And then Bloobie over here is going to have us go around when we get close and sneak on through ahead of the group.
Sneaking ahead of the group?
Yeah. Look, it's a small little thing, but the Vanguard often gets the best pickings. But if you see, the Vanguard also dies a lot. So what we should do is we should be the Vanguard's Vanguard. Go in first, grab a few things, and then we'll be good.
Oh, so we're going to raid ahead?
Yeah, just a little bit of raiding ahead. It's not gonna be a big deal. We'll take a peek, and with Bloobie's knowledge, we can sneak on inside.
Oh, that sounds really dangerous.
Is it dangerous, Bloobie? Tell me, what terms did you leave the people there?
I thought for a moment. I had realized that what she was suggesting was probably the best way I could get back. If we snuck up ahead, it'd be a lot easier to try to break off from these two than trying to run away from Stirrup and a bunch of armed guards. And if anything, I could maybe try to get back to town and warn everyone. So, for the first time, my smile started drifting a little bit more, I guess genuinely? Right, yeah, no, I left on good terms. I could probably, sneak us in pretty well, and if we got caught, I could work our way through.
That's what I'm saying. All right, perfect. We got a deal. All of us together gonna head on out to town, get a few extra things, and then go back down?
Right, yeah, I can do my part. I can try to get us around town.
That's good, Hanze. And Bloobie, you and I, all of us. I think we're gonna make a great team.
Right, yeah. What's your name?
Matako. A pleasure to meet you. And may we all make some good money today.
The words that Sadi spoke broke a sort of quiet and good demeanor we had walking up to this point. Suddenly, the entire surrounding felt hollow a bit. The cave walls bouncing with every single word. You could almost hear everything. A sense of alertness sort of spread around. I stopped for a moment, a bit moving to the side. She's continued to try to speak, however, still sort of low on breath.
It came at least a couple of...
She took a more drink of water, just trying to do her best to see if she could somehow just gather any more of breath or thoughts.
They came only a couple of hours ago. They just sort of showed up and Badakanatot let them in. Of course she did. And then they've just sort of been running around now inside and starting to round stuff up. They're looking for you. All of you.
Why? What? Why?
What do they even want?
I'm not surprised. After all, we've been running around in the caves and we're not supposed to, right? We're causing a disturbance.
Galoin are allowed to roam through the caves, but I saw her stop for a moment. I'm sure she was aware of my presence when she was running up, but I don't think it was something she could very much challenge in the moment due to the severity. So now that she had been calmed and was now staring forward, I noticed a darkness behind her eyes, a scowl forming for a moment.
They had said that you were all doing stuff to go against the Lich, but more specifically that you were also harboring an adventurer. I thought that was bullshit. But I guess it wasn't?
No, they're right. How astute. Still,
It's probably the dolls.
now we're no longer useful. The information that we've shared has been, well, shared against us. Although, I'll say that while we have been moving around, I was about to go and call the mountain by its true name, but now did not feel the right time. We've been exploring the mountain with an adventurer in tow. It has not necessarily been to aid in the interests of those who live outside the mountain. She's just as invested as us in trying to, well, keep us safe, stop the things that would harm you and yours. Would you agree? I turned round to Melanius.
Yes. I'm trying to help. I'm not fit for human society anymore, and I was just hoping I could try to assist in some way now that I'm, I suppose, one of the dungeon's denizens. Dungeon's denizens? She stopped a moment, noticing Etite to the side, hauling a ton of books. Etite, what are you doing here?
Huh? I went with them. What do you mean?
Your name wasn't on the list. I think when they came by and asked where you were and went to town, I think everyone just assumed you had wandered off drunk.
Oh. Oh, jeez. I guess sometimes a bad reputation can come in handy.
The luck of the liquor, I suppose.
You need to get back then. I'll take you back with me soon. But
She started to speak in hushed tones. I'd wondered if she thought I couldn't hear her, despite my hearing. All the same, she'd pulled herself up. I was distracted by that as well as seeing Yayo beginning to pace.
oh God, do you really trust that Boomy? She killed a whole lot of people.
I was looking and I managed to find a whole bunch of puncture wounds. I thought you were friends with some of those people. How could you just let that pass, let that go?
I don't think she's the same Boomy that did all of that.
What do you mean the same Boomy? Isn't she the one with the bow, the archers?
I start putting things together. It's difficult. I don't want to believe that Millennius has killed a bunch of Galoins, but was that the truth?
I took the moment to think back to when we first explored the dungeon with Melanius in tow. We saw so many bodies, and she was with us the entire time, but how was she acting? I don't quite remember.
I froze up for a moment as I noticed Garchinus sort of peek back for a bit. During that time when they had found the one who I think was known as Manantat, I had done my best to hold myself back. The bodies assembled in that room was along the path we had taken. I did my best to keep my distance and not let my presence be known when they were examining bodies. After all, it was a matter of utmost consideration that they never really think or consider that I might have been the one to kill him.
You know, Melanius, when it comes to matters of tailoring, it's all about how somebody holds themselves in what they wear. You can tell whether they're confident or trying to keep something about themselves. Their physicality shifts oh so slightly. You no longer really have care for your appearance, but your body still does have echoes of you trying to hold yourself back.
I'm sorry, but I just wouldn't know. At that time, I have no idea with how combat went. Everything had gone. Everyone was fighting, but I had fired shots and I just can't really recall. It could have been an aspect of the fall.
An unfortunate convenience.
Hey, I know this isn't the best thing to say in this exact moment, but do you think a bunch of adventurers came to the cave and just didn't kill any of us? To think Millennius was innocent before and now is kind of naive, don't you think? Look, while Millennius probably did do those things, also, she helped us recover some of the bodies. We wouldn't have made it this far without her in the first place. Now, while you probably won't be able to forgive her, I think it's of best interest to just keep moving forward.
Strege began to speak, and as he did, I at least noticed on the far end, not exactly a sort of feeling of, I would say, acceptance of that, but instead of shift, as if the tension had pulled off me from the side, someone who remembered their duty. I heard a small hiss as she turned on over. We've got to get Etete back to town. All right, if you're going to be doing this, just why did you run off in the first place? What's so important that you decided to side with an adventurer, huh?
Do you genuinely want to know?
At this point, we gotta. The village is at risk.
Yeah. I folded my arms, genuinely looking at the loyal scout in front of us. The consideration that was on my mind right now is very genuine. If we spill our guts, at least at the moment, they'll likely share our fate. Whatever it is. So, angling my head backwards, honestly, everything that Strege said a few moments ago was extremely salient. We're trying to make an effort or a change in the dungeon, and at the very least, we can't exactly be picky on where that help comes from, why, or even how. We want to genuinely make an effort to change things right now, and at the very least, the fact that the Streln are moving at the moment shows that we stirred up the hornet's nest to some extent. I'd been pacing up to this point. The curiosity was why at this exact moment, and the truth was fairly obvious. The list of our names was far, far too accurate for it to come from any source other than the dolls, which we recently put pressure on. As a result, they're scared. Okay. I tap my foot. Okay. What are we doing next? Sort of hopping up and down as if to improve blood flow in my body. I stopped. They have the town hostage. They need us. What was the status of things? Are they ripping things apart looking for us? What did you say about when would we did you give them any information related to us?
She stopped for a moment, considered. Well, Batakanatat was the one who was talking to them. I was just sent out immediately. She had me go out and try to find you to warn you to not come back to town.
Okay. That's perfect. Right. I paused and thought to myself, feeling a smile spread across my lips. Always so frustrated by the placations that Batakanatat sowed so effortlessly, usually. I now found myself exceptionally grateful for her ability to spew these yarns. I owe her everything. Okay. I think I know a way out of this. I'm gonna need a lot of help. Like a lot of help. We actually do. We made our move, they made their moves. We can't fall into exactly what they're demanding of us, or we'll be put at a disadvantage. We need to make another move. Fast. Now. Decisively.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I love making moves. Come on.
What are we gonna do? They have the whole village hostage. How are we gonna turn this around?
You can't keep missing any longer, or they're gonna start looking for you.
Okay, so all of these questions, yes, I've got an answer for that. We're gonna extend the clock, but by handing them a few hostages. Gertrunis, I desperately need your talents.
Miss Yaya Melodiah, we have just finished putting our lives on the line. Do you not stop?
I sort of sighed. My shoulders heaving. My body is not built for this. Already wounded, exhausted from the fight, feeling the perspiration on my brow. The answer was obvious. They've got the village hostage. We can't stop. If we stop, do you think they're going to stop with us? Do you think they're going to just take the list, chop all of our heads off, and then move on with their lives? No, this is the start of something. This is an excuse to invade. Nothing short. We can't stop. We can't afford to. As much as it hurts, as tired as I am, and trust me, as much as I'm panicking.
Oh, stars.
You do look pretty banged up. Are you all right?
I'm fine enough for this. And right now, I need literally everyone's assistance. And Gartrunis, you're the only one I think that can pull off the most important step of this.
I closed my eyes as I listened to Miss Yayo orate a vision for the future. She didn't need to spend the words on us. We are not the people that need convincing against incarcerating us or worse, but yet her enthusiasm is nothing if not infectious.
I remember in this moment, feeling at the very least, my lack of training as a proper leader, my lack of training as an elder, all of it coalescing down to the singular point, but more than anything, I felt my lack of experiencing one specific emotion. The experience of being humbled. A shock of fire moved to my cheeks as I slowly pulled my hat low. More than anything right now, I'm sorry for belittling your shroud-making abilities. I pulled my hat up. More than anything right now, I need your talents as a tailor.
Oh, I mean, you don't... All things considered, Miss Yao Melayaya, it's fine. We didn't understand each other at the time, and I think, well, while I would have enjoyed other ways to get to understand the heart of ourselves, I think at the very least, we've managed to gain a respect for each other through survival, if nothing else.
Which is perfect, because our survival's gonna hinge on this one.
Please, I basically already said yes. You don't need to go and make this as... Please don't put this in a situation where I consider saying no.
From one plan that almost kills us to the next. Okay.
As long as we don't see that bird lady again.
I've got bad news.
They say it's been too long. It's so nice to see you. You're a good friend of mine. So long farewell at you. No, I can't believe, oh no, not words from thee, but said in facsimile, yearning for that distant we. So I'm searching for near eternity, but I don't know where I should be. Love of branch, no family tree, no friends I have to see. An unfriendly propensity is my natural state to take flight in perpetuity. And so echo back is only me, cut off from precious we.